Hi, everyone, and welcome back to UpLevel Your Life with Mindy. I am your host, Mindy Duff, and I have a guest with me today, Tom Paladino, and he is a researcher in what I find to be an absolutely fascinating field. We're going to be talking about scalar energy or scalar light energy, and if you have no idea what this is, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned here for this one. So, Tom, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about you and what you do. I said that you're a researcher, but we're talking about, the scalar energy and what's going on here. What is it that you do exactly?
I work with energy instruments. They're known as scalar energy instruments. I've devoted my life to this. It is not electricity that I'm working with. It's a different type of energy. It's the energy of the sun and the stars. And I enjoy my work so much because it offers mankind a new energy source. I envision the future where we're not going to be using electricity. There's a better energy, scalar energy, clean energy from the sun and the stars that we can utilize.
Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating to me. And I know a little bit more about this than probably most of the listeners here today. So let's first tell me what led you to doing this work.
I was inspired. At a young age, I was reading the work of Nikola Tesla, the great scientist, and I realized that Tesla, especially later in his life, was not using electricity. His inventions were using non-physical energy, or the energy of the stars. And I said to myself, this is incredible because you don't have to create the energy. What's the problem with energy today? You have to create it and harness it. Well, with scalar energy, the stars create it and harness it. So why not just tap into the stars? Why drill for oil when you have free energy from the stars? Tesla was way ahead. He was centuries ahead of us. And I'm trying to catch up to Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And just fascinating work that you're doing when you're talking about the sun and the stars and the energy coming from the sun and stars. So maybe we need to explain a little bit about scalar energy, how it works, what's happening here. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in my laboratory for a reason. These are scalar energy instruments. They act like a miniature star. Again, this is free energy from the stars, and it behaves in a peculiar fashion to the point if I place a light bulb close to the instrument, it will animate. The light bulb will illuminate because there's so much energy coming off the instrument. So this is not your typical electrical instrument where you can hold a light bulb in your hand and it illuminates. Now, my work is focused upon working with instrumentation that controls the energy, and I can improve what I call quantum human health and quantum animal health with this energy. So we're not going to be speaking about, per se, physical health. We're going to speak about energetic health today.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And as you're showing those light bulbs, and if people that are listening on the podcast right now not being able to see you, Tom just held up a light bulb, just a plain light bulb, like you're gonna go change a light bulb in your living room, and he held it next to this device, and the light bulb lit up in his hands, which is kind of magical in and of itself right there. I have seen also, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of what the show was, but someone was using a Tesla coil to put a lot of energy into the ground, and these people were standing there with those long fluorescent bulb lights, the long tubes, and holding them in their hands, and the bulbs were all lighting up because that energy is traveling through the person and lighting up that light bulb, which is just, again, kind of mind-boggling to me a little bit. I don't know all the I don't understand all of the what goes into all that, but I know, it's real. Like, I can't not see that light bulb light up, right?
Exactly. And we're following the laws of science. So this is what I like about my research. I'm working with scientific instruments that follow the laws of science. There is no human reasoning. It's all energy. Light never makes mistakes. People make mistakes, but when you're working with the laws of physics, there's no mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're saying that this energy is coming from the sun and the stars, I don't know if you can even begin to explain this to us, but how is this happening? How are you able to harness this energy?
Well, my predecessor, a man by the name of Hieronymus, Galen Hieronymus, invented this instrument. I'm pointing to the instrument for those who are on audio only. And this is a custom-built scalar energy instrument. Now, this has taken years to perfect. My work, the work of other engineers, and the work of notably the inventor, Galen Hieronymus. So this is really an engineering feat. Anytime you have any type of scientific instrumentation, it's an engineering feat. So that first and foremost is where we start with the engineering of these instruments. And then secondly, you have to understand how to harness this energy then and to apply it. How do you administer this energy? So there's a lot of science here. There's a lot of work, over a century of work that's gone into this.
How do you harness the energy, this scalar energy?
Okay. So how do we harness this energy? Through instrumentation. This is a scalar energy instrument that I'm working with. The key is we have engineered this energy to the point where we can capture the energy of the sun and the stars. That's the key element to my work. Now, again, we're not working with electricity, so there's different outcomes than that of an electromagnetic instrument. What I've found with scalar energy, it is intelligence. So it can control the intelligence. The spirit, the mind, and body have intelligence. This is what I access with this energy. It's not a physical process. I can access the mind, I can access the emotions, I can access the physical body through intelligence. So it's quite unique. And what's really unique about my work is I never work with people. Remember, this is quantum, this is non-physical energy. I only work with photographs of people. This is my photograph. If I were to work with a person, I would be only by way of a photograph that carries their force field or energy field on the photograph. So this instrument can work like, if you will, a video, or it can work like a satellite in which you can have a video image at a distance, or a satellite can send a signal at a distance. I can work with.
Okay. So to be clear, when I'm working with these instruments, it's not an electrical instrument. And I work with people by way of force fields or energy fields. This has nothing to do with the human body. It has nothing to do with physical matter. I work with information. Now, I'm going to hold up my photograph. When I work with these instruments, I work with people's photographs. And a photograph has a force field, an energy field attached to it. So in the scalar energy realm, we're not working in person. We're working, if you will, with photographs that have a character or an intelligence. Now, much like we can have a discussion through our computers, we're communicating through our computers. I can communicate with my instrument, it works like a computer, I guess, through a photograph. Now, we communicate with cell phones, we communicate on TV, we communicate by way of computers. Now we can communicate through a person's photograph. And that is profound. This is the, if you will, the level of intelligence that we're working with now. Now, keep in mind, the intelligence that I'm working with is inbuilt. It's self-directed. It's a divine intelligence. So this is the actual real work of the universe. This is not artificial intelligence. This is not human programming. This is if you will, the orchestra of the universe. This is how the universe operates under an information system. That's profound.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, it's almost something you can hardly wrap your mind around, I think.
You're right. And so furthermore, what do I think of scalar energy? It's the intelligence of the universe. You have to have instruction. You have to have intelligence for everything, whether it's a star, a planet, elements, whether it's your biological functions, whether it's your brain waves. So I believe that scalar energy will prove to be the intelligence of the universe, the instructions of the universe. And I'm quite fortunate to be able to tap into that intelligence of the universe.
I'm curious, as you're talking about the scalar energy being the intelligence of the universe, it's making me think of what's referred to as just the quantum field. And is it the same to you, two different things? Is it what do you think?
You're precisely right. That's exactly what it is. It's the field. It's consciousness. Now, again, if you look at anything, look around your home, there's an intelligence behind thing. Somebody who built the furniture in your home had intelligence. It was a design, an intelligent design. Everything. My hand is an intelligent design. Everything has intelligence, some type of design, some type of form to it. That's what we're getting to. So with scalar energy, it's the carrier wave of intelligence. This is so crucial. If we have finally tapped into the intelligence of the universe, then we can master the universe with that intelligence.
Yeah, that really is fascinating. I mean, when you're talking about the healing capabilities alone of being able to tap into this quantum field or this scalar energy and then using that. So, what are some things that scalar energy can be used for? Or what are you using it for?
Now, with my instrument, I've developed a technique whereby, and follow my thinking, I can match up, I can use my photograph, and I can use a photograph of a virus. So I'm going to hold up my photograph and a photograph of the Epstein-Barr virus. Now, again, all of my work is intelligence. It has nothing to do with chemicals. There's no biology here. So there's an intelligence of Epstein-Barr, and I have an intelligence. And the two photographs, when placed in my instrument, communicate with one another. Okay? Mindy and I are having a communication. We're speaking with one another. Well, my instrument will likewise speak. Epstein-Barr will speak to my force field or communicate with my force field. If I had this virus in me, the instrument would pick up the signature, would identify Epstein-Barr in my force field, my energy field, and eradicate it or bring it to a state of chaos. So any photograph of a microbe can be used not only to identify the microbe, but serves to identify the microbe on a person's, in their force field, in their energy field, and eradicate it, bring it to a state of chaos. What am I saying? If I have a photograph of a microbe, I can bring it to a state of chaos. Any microbe.
That's really, again, it's just like mind-boggling when I think about it. You know, the implications here are just incredible.
You're absolutely right. And once again, going back to my earlier statement, I believe this is the intelligence of the universe. And if a photograph of Epstein-Barr carries that scalar energy intelligence, and we can access that intelligence of Epstein-Barr, then we can manipulate that intelligence. And that's what I do. I break down the intelligence, I think it's molecular bonds, but I bring to a state of chaos of a virus, Epstein-Barr. Now, that doesn't matter whether it's a virus or a fungus. Provided I have a photograph of a microbe, I can bring that microbe to a state of chaos. This has far-reaching implications.
It really, really is. And I'm wondering, as you're talking here, I'm thinking about all of the different physical conditions. Now, maybe you only work with physical conditions, but could this be used for other things as well? Could this be used for just living a better life in general? Maybe not something with your physical body, but maybe your mental or emotional body.
Yes. We were also able to take, follow my thinking once again. I use photographs because photographs are a source of light, and there's no guesswork. This is a photograph of glutathione. It's a powerful antioxidant. And it has energy, has intelligence. And if I wanted to download glutathione into me energetically, I would simply have the two photographs speak to one another. It's very straightforward. It's profound because you're working at a first level, at a first principle. And when you work at this primal level, there's no human thinking. For instance, when you're flying in a plane, you don't have to tell the plane how to fly. That plane has been engineered to command the laws of aerodynamics. Well, my instrument commands the energy, the intelligence of glutathione, downloads it into my energy field. Now, per se, this is how I receive my nutrients. I don't take multivitamins. I don't supplement. I eat well, but I have a series of photographs of micronutrients that I can download into my quantum field. So instead of taking vitamins and antioxidants in a chemical sense, I download them into my aura or into my, if you will, energy force field. And this, I have achieved superior nutrition through this energetic process. So apparently there's two ways now to achieve healthful nutrition. by way of food, by way of supplementation, and also energetically. What am I proposing? This is a new energetic nutrient program. It has nothing to do with biological processes. Does not involve metabolism. We download the instructions of nutrients.
Yeah, that's also extremely powerful. Just to think of how you can just really program people, their energy fields and whatnot, to be in an optimal state of health, which I think is really just fascinating. So I'm wondering, for a person that experiences this, what does it feel like? If somebody sends their picture to you and they start getting all of these nutrients or microbes dissolved or whatnot, what does that feel like to the person experiencing it?
Well, for instance, I just performed the pathogenic cleanse on myself, and my mouth is clean. There's no biofilm. If I feel my teeth with my tongue, I can't feel any gritty feeling, any gritty biofilm even on my teeth. My sinuses clear up. My lung is not congestion, and this is the general consensus with people. As soon as I perform that pathogenic cleanse, and we're eradicating so many different types of microbes, so many different types of bacterium, etc., they feel that cleanse. They say that their sinuses open up, that they no longer have a cough. Many people have gone on to tell us that they no longer have a viral load for herpes or HIV. It's very promising.
Yeah, that really is. And so the person experiencing it doesn't feel, I mean, you don't feel necessarily tingly or anything like that. You just feel better, more clean and
Right. Usually most people don't feel anything. They
sure.
feel the effect. They feel better. Now, what am I getting at? Well, consider this. This is sunlight or starlight. It's instructions. You can't really feel instructions. I don't know anybody who can feel intelligence. You can feel the result of the intelligence, which is people feel better. People have a greater sense of energy and vitality. If you're going to remove years, decades of microbial buildup through intelligence, okay, then most people say that they feel better. They have a greater sense of strength and vitality. Many people have even gone as far as to say they no longer have an arthritic condition. It's many times those pathogens, those germs, cause inflammation, which leads to arthritis.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The more you talk, the more it's like, oh, this could be used for that, or oh, this could be used for this. So what are some of the most common issues that you would say that you work on?
People want to feel better, especially today. Some people, their immune system is compromised. So I would say many people, whether they realize it or not, we're filled with microbes, germs. And many people, they simply like to sign up for a month or two just to cleanse their body. You know, it's no harm, no foul here. It's just the way we live. If you're 50 years old, you've had 5 decades of acquiring microbes. Now imagine this instrument can pinpoint, can identify over 400,000 species of pathogens, bacteria, parasites, fungi, viruses. Many of these microbes we don't even realize we're infected with. And the upshot, the result is, by way of testimony, people say, yeah, I feel a lot better. Well, we don't realize what happens over decades when we have this inflammation caused by some type of systemic infection.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't realize how bad they feel till they start feeling better, which sounds like this is the case.
Yeah, that's pertinent. You're right. And there's another aspect to this instrument. It's so strong, as I mentioned, it can illuminate, it can light up a light bulb. Well, consider that if the instrument can illuminate a light bulb, it should also illuminate our mind, our brain waves. And that's my contention. Many people say that after a week or so of sessions that they sleep better or that they have greater mental clarity. So imagine this white corrective light, this, if you will, this afflatus of scalar light is correcting our thinking, is correcting our, what we would consider our meridians or our chakras. I believe we do have chakras, energy centers. And that scalar energy can correct that spin or that vortical action, if you will. If that's the case, then I believe this will be the tool for mental health moving forward. Not a chemical, no drugs. We're going to correct mental issues, emotional issues with light. Now, that's quite promising because there's no drawback. There's no side effects working with light. You can't have a chemical reaction with non-physical starlight. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I can't help but think of the similarities to what you're doing and Reiki. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Reiki. That's something where, unless you have been trained yourself, you have to go to a Reiki practitioner and receive the Reiki directly from them, and could receive some similar benefits to what you're saying. I believe as you're talking, it sounds to me like perhaps this energy is coming from the same source, just coming in different modalities. However, working with you, one needs to only submit a picture, and then it's just kind of almost running in the background, so to speak, in terms of, if I were to have you do this for me, I'm not having to drive to my Reiki practitioner's place and take half an hour or an hour out of my day. And although that is an enjoyable experience, it's different in that regard.
That's one of the points that people like. Submitting a photograph, and the instruments are working 24 hours a day, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change your lifestyle. You don't have to fast. You don't have to observe any type of specific regimen. Why? This is not a medical practice. This is an energetic practice on your photograph. So this is a new way of looking at health aside from Western medicine. Yes, Western medicine is valid, but there is a quantum realm, the non-physical realm of intention, or what we call, if you will, scalar intelligence, that is indeed quite profound, which gives credence to what you said about prayer or mental thought or positive affirmations. Now, many people say, and they practice positive affirmations throughout the day, or some people say that they have healing hands. Others say that with a good life coach, with good mental inspiration, you can overcome even a physical ailment. There's merit to that. All of that is intelligence. Okay? Whether it's positive affirmation, that's intelligence, or some type of, if you will, health coaching, life coaching. So this is giving credence to the world of suggestion or thought. A thought is a scalar wave. When we think, it's a scalar wave. Scalar energy transcends time and space. Thoughts, positive thinking, transcends time and space. So that's the intelligence behind scalar energy. It's the intelligence of thought. We're at the realm of thought, at the realm of consciousness.
Yeah, that's interesting because it goes back to what you said earlier. When you look around wherever you're sitting right now, if you're in your car, your steering wheel, or if you're at your desk and there's the physical desk or the chair you're sitting on, all of those things had to begin as a thought first. Someone had to have the idea to create that and to what it was actually going to look like. Well, where did that idea come from? Where did that thought come from? And many of us believe the quantum realm. I mean, it's out there in the ethers, right? And then we just are able to tap into this. So you're just tapping into it for a different use.
Yes, many people call that, thank you, intention or rightful thinking. We've heard frequently when people gather to pray as a group, there's a, if you will, an increase in energy, or what they consider an increase in consciousness. All of that is true and accurate. So we're seeing now that the physical world can be commandeered, can be controlled by the non-physical intelligence. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I would much rather get my energy from the sun and the stars than to have to pay for oil and gas and propane, etc. I would much rather use the energy of the sun and the stars, which is clean, leaves no carbon footprint, than to have this degradation to our environment. I'd much rather use the energy of the sun and the stars that does not require an infrastructure. The stars are the infrastructure. God does not need satellites. He created stars. If you want to look at the satellites of the universe, they're the stars, so to speak. So what am I getting at? You do not need an infrastructure with this energy. I don't have any use for satellites or cell phone towers, electrical conduit, or transformers or induction motors, all of that is passé. All of that is obsolete. Scalar energy introduces a new way of living.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you start to think about it in terms of, regardless of what someone's religious beliefs are, I'm open to a lot of different suggestions here, but whoever created this planet, God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Whenever they created it, and we have to agree that the Earth's been in existence for a really super long time. I mean, who knows how long? But when it was created, how long did life go on this planet without having infrastructures, without needing the oil, without needing? So I believe everything was created, everything we needed was here.
Yes.
And then now we as humans have created other things that we've become dependent upon because we just don't realize there's other things available to us out there that have always been here.
Let's go back 100 years to Nikola Tesla. Tesla was able to run motors with star energy. He was able to tap into the stars, and he actually had a car that operated on scalar energy, scalar light. Now, why aren't we using the stars to operate our cars? If we did that, we'd never run out of power. You don't have to plug in, obviously, for this. You don't need to drill for oil. It's clean. There's no emission. Okay. It's unlimited range. You could run a car for 1 million miles and never run out of the star energy. So we see, you see the big picture, where we're going with this. This is a paradigm shift. We're going to change the world with scalar energy.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like that, Tom. It's very, very groundbreaking and interesting work. And I know that there are some other, I'm just going to call them devices out there that I feel like are similar, but they're very different from my limited understanding. I know there's someone on the podcast once referenced a Spooky 2, which is not quite the same as what you're doing, but again, dealing with frequencies and trying to heal, but it's in the same vein. There's something out there called a Healy also, which not the same, but again, a Healy uses photos to connect to that person's energy field. And so it's similar, not quite as the same as what you're doing, but along those same realms. So this is you're not the only one out there. So for people that are listening, like, oh, this guy is just off his rocker and crazy, like, no, this is scientific, and there's other people out here doing similar things too. So
it's a new industry. Let's just look at it that way. Scalar energy, if you've never heard of it before, you will hear about this in the next 5 to 10 years. It's a new and emerging industry. Yes, many people are tapping into this energy or at least researching about this. This is the next computer, people. This is the next iPhone. Scalar energy technology will change the world for the better.
So in just your personal opinion, and this is just kind of a for fun question. So when you say it's like the next iPhone or the next computer, do you feel like people will have their own individual devices, or will we just have people, certain, I guess, corporations doing mass amounts for people, or both maybe?
I think we'll have to see how the general public accepts this. First, you need a ground floor acceptance, so to speak, a grassroots acceptance. And then we'll see who wants to get involved. So we're still at that nascent stage. We don't know where this is going. I just don't have the money to manufacture. I'm not a manufacturer. I'm a theorist. I'm a researcher. It really is dependent upon people and how they accept this. That will determine the trajectory in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say to everyone that's listening, if you're curious about it, or even more so, if you're skeptical about it, try it, learn about it and try it, and then see. Once you have the information, then you can make a more sound judgment, I guess.
And I think it's only fair for people to try it. Our website offers 15 days of free sessions. And we do that because this is new. This is groundbreaking. I don't expect people to understand this. It's my invention. It's my protocol. And I don't think anybody per se has ever duplicated my protocol exactly. So the only place you're going to find this work is per se my work, which is customized, is on our website. You go to our website, you upload your photograph, you can send your family's photographs, and we'll treat you for free for 15 days. Because we're confident, I'm confident you'll feel a shift, some type of improvement in your health. Keep in mind, it's not chemical. This is not Western medicine. It's a new and emerging science where we work with information only.
Yeah, it's so interesting that, again, it just ties my brain in knots when I try and understand it, but that's okay because I don't have to understand. I don't understand how my car works. I don't really get what happens with my microwave. I just know it works. So, right.
Yeah, look at technology and look what it's done for mankind. When we utilize technology appropriately, we have moral standards, society benefits. So, imagine with a world without any technology. I say frequently we would be living underneath a tree and it would be very uncomfortable. So our modern day world, we owe it to all types of invention, all types of advances. That's my point. I want to see mankind progress. I want to see, as a researcher, I perform. I'm all about performance. So watch the progress. Sign up for the 15-day session and you adjudicate your progress. You adjudicate how you feel with these sessions.
Yeah, that's very, very generous of you. And I will, of course, put that link in the show notes. So again, people, if you didn't catch that, if you go to Tom's website, click on the show notes here to that link, you can sign up for 15 days totally free to receive this scalar light energy and just see what happens. And then tell me about it. Tell me about what happened because I want to know.
Yeah. I'm all about performance. Thank you. And I want to prove this. That's the easiest way to prove it is having thousands of people sign up and try it. It's free.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tom, I have one final question for you. And this is my question of the month I've been asking all of my guests. And that is, what's one thing you wish everyone on the planet would do in regards to their own well-being?
Your body is the temple. It's God's temple. So you have to take care of your spirit, your mind, and your body. Make time for yourself. If you can't, then arrange time. It's so important. Put yourself first sometimes. You have to take time for yourself. I exercise every week. I take time for myself. My wife and I eat very well. It pays off. The dividends are there. We all realize that. You just make a conscious effort. Even if you only can make 1 or 2 improvements a month, make those improvements. Eventually, throughout the year, you'll see your health improve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think adding the scalar light energy to that regimen of things that you do for your health is an easy, quite simple thing to do really on the work of the participant. It's just giving a picture, sending a picture over, and then letting Tom and his equipment work their magic and just receive that energy.
Thank you. It's all about, to me, performance. Try the free sessions and see how this performs for you. It's fundamental light. Light doesn't make mistakes. You will see some type of shift in your attitude and your health. I promise you, because nothing can impede starlight. Something beneficial will take place.
Oh, that's so amazing. Such interesting, groundbreaking stuff here. Tom, thank you for being on today. And thank you for sharing all of this. Really, again, just I feel like I've said fascinating 500 times today, but it really is when we start to talk about things in the quantum world and all this scalar light energy coming from stars and sun and whatnot. It's not mainstream, but it's certainly fascinating work that you're doing. So thank you for being on today.
And my pleasure. Thank you.
And everybody else that's listening, I hope that this got you intrigued a little bit. I would love to continue the conversation. So if you have more thoughts about this scalar light energy, feel free to reach out. You can email me or message me, and I would love to talk more about it. And wherever you're at today, I hope you're having a fantastic one. I will catch you on the next one.